Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Oh, yeah. Hannah asked for the oh, yeah today instead of yo. We're going to switch it up a little bit. Shit, I need the Santa hat. Hold on, guys. Give me 2 seconds. I need to get the Santa hat. Shit, man. Can't forget the Santa hat. We'll be breaking new lows at any time if you don't get the Santa hat going. What's going on, guys? Good morning. Happy Monday market open. As Bitcoin did break down from the little symmetrical triangle we were looking at last night. Quick question for you guys. How many times do you think that I listened to the pump music over the course of this channel? Let me know. Let me know. It's got to be, because think about it. It was in every single intro. I probably played it last year. Probably played it about 10 times every single day. So if anyone could do some quick math, that would be pretty cool. I wonder how many times I've heard that song in my life. But to this day, I can still put on that song and I can still rock to it. That's how you know it's a good freaking song. Shout out to the free YouTube playlist for giving me the free YouTube song. Santa hat rug pull? Hell no! If we rug pull the hat, that means we're going to new lows. All right, as long as we keep the hat on, it's like a magical power. It'll keep us above 15,500. We know how this works, my friends. Anyways, let's smack up that like button to a new all-time high, as Mr. Chris would say. How's Chris doing? I haven't watched any of his videos in a long time. Wonder how Mr. Christie doing. Is he still shoeless? Is he still looking around the beach, looking for birds? I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. But anyways, let's jump on into some juicy charts this morning. You said 3,000 times? No, I think it's been more. My guess is something around 10,000. Okay, that's my guess. Around 10,000 times I've heard the pump music song. I think, just me, I brought that guy a lot of views on YouTube. So, hey, O'Shane Rewind. Go check him out. I think he should make some new music for the channel. Oh, we're pumping? Oh, man. We're trying to come up. Anyways, what's Bitcoin doing, guys? We broke down from a little symmetrical triangle we were looking at last night, right? We were sort of waiting and say, okay, which way is Bitcoin going to break here? Holy moly. It did end up breaking down to the downside. So, what do we got now? Well, we look here. The volume got pretty heavy on that move down. So, it was a pretty substantial volume move to the downside. So, you got to take it as being a relatively, a pretty solid move there for BTC. Now, what do we know about a lot of these patterns here in sort of this current market that we're currently in now? Well, we know that these things can be a little bit shady, right? On breakouts and fake outs and everything in between. We got that move down. Now, the technical measure move from the swing highs to the swing lows would technically put BTC back down a little bit lower than the current level, back down to like 15,900, which would make sense. We look left. We still got this, if we actually go to like the super short-term time frames, like the 15-minute time frame, you still got some vector candles back down to the lower ends, and you got this wick. You got this 15-minute wick all the way down at 15,700, and you got this $15,900 little vector candle looking all the way back over here. So, could we come back and down and test the lows again? I mean, that's certainly a possibility at this point. I think everyone's sort of waiting for when Bitcoin going to 14K? When? Well, we got some news events coming up. And some things that might give us some catalyst back down to the lows. Who knows? Maybe another exchange goes down and shits the bed on this beautiful, beautiful week. You know, maybe another one comes in. I don't know. But at least for the short-term price action, we got the stock market futures coming down. We'll talk about that a little bit today. We got the DXY, which also is coming down. So very interesting day today. You're sort of seeing everything coming down. And when you see everything come down, that means something is shady. Something's up. Something's not calculating right here. But we'll look at all the charts. So Bitcoin broke down. Here's what we need to see for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin to, all right, Bitcoin's coming up pretty nice here now. 16,290. For Bitcoin to look at this as a fake out, we got to get back above these lows, right? So very, very simply, we got a trend line coming up. 1, 2, 3. We got to be able to come back up and smack back above these lows and ultimately come back out the other side and be a little bit magical here for Bitcoin this morning. Let me see what you guys said. Yeah, Chinese FUD? Oh my lord. No. Don't come up with the Chinese FUD. How many times have we had Chinese FUD in crypto and crypto has just said absolutely no, right? We've had Chinese FUD every year for Bitcoin, I think. Has there ever been a time where we haven't had Chinese FUD? I don't think so. It's called China. Chris is still carrying his case of magic crystals. Nice, dude. Nice. That's pretty solid. Anyways, let's see what Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is, I guess it's finding some initial resistance on these previous lows over here. So here's the deal. We came back down on the 1 hour time frame. We got oversold in the 1 hour. Doesn't mean the move has to be over. This price action reminds me a lot of the price action we saw back here. Remember we had the symmetrical triangle back here, right? Lower highs, higher lows. We broke down to the downside. We came all the way back down to test the lows, right? We dumped. And you guys can see we got oversold right here. Pretty similar to the area we're at now. We got a little bit of a move back up. And then we got that final move back down. And notice, what did that create? Well, that created a little bit of bullish divergence, which is what you want to see at support, right? You got the lower lows, the higher lows that came in. We don't necessarily have that right now. Now, do we have to? No. We talked about the invalidation for Bitcoin coming back up to the upside is smacking those lows, right? But could we see Bitcoin, kind of just mosey its way back up in a bear flag, right? This is sort of looking like a bear flag at the current moment, which, obviously that can change, and we don't want to see that, right, for everyone that's a bull. But we take this into some type of bear flag. We put that to the downside. Oh, that puts us right back down at the low, man. But that would create probably some bullish divergence where you dump, right? You get a lower low on the RSI, or a higher low on the RSI, lower low on price action. Bada bing, bada boom. Pretty similar to what we did over here. But, all in all, we'll watch that. We'll watch that very, very carefully. But it looks like Bitcoin is trying to post that a little bit here on the shorter term time frame. So we'll look out. We'll look out. We got our invalidation to the upside. We got sort of what the chart is telling us, which the chart is, I guess, at the moment after the breakdown, is coiling up for that move back down to the lows. So let's see what happens next. All your cryptos will belong to us. You will own nothing and you will like it. That's the common saying around everything now. You will own nothing and you will like it. Cheers. What could be more jolly at Christmas time than all the markets coming down? What could be more jolly than that, guys? I don't know. But so that's Bitcoin, I guess, on the super short-term time frames. I guess, you know, you really just want to see Bitcoin hold the lows here. If it does come down, it holds the lows. I mean, there is some things that could happen here, right? If Bitcoin does end up holding the lows here again, you know, you could end up seeing a little bit of, you know, a left shoulder action, a little bit of a head. Everyone likes a little bit of head on Monday. You know, you come back down, maybe you come back and right that right shoulder again, and bada bing, bada boom. Maybe you get a little inverse head and shoulders action coming in here. All right, so there is some possibilities. We'll look at those as Bitcoin kind of makes its way, but to me, at least at the moment, it looks like Bitcoin is, unless it just like absolutely just says, absolutely screw you, I'm smashing this back to the upside. We break this low, this low, this low, and we start to close some candles back up in this region. Man, it looks like Bitcoin just wants to say hallelujah and come back down and test this low for the fourth time. But what do we know about the ranges? The ranges give us opportunity, my friends. All right. What do we know about this? Well, Bitcoin's gotten a bounce 1, 2, 3, 4. So if Bitcoin comes back down to this range again, listen, that's a good area for some possible swing trades if you guys are up to that at this point. I can tell it doesn't seem like too many people are trading lately. I can tell based off you know, a couple of statistics that I have. Not many people are trading lately, so I don't know. Are you guys trading anymore? Are you guys just in it for the hodl? What are you guys up to at the current moment? So that's what I'm looking at. Bitcoin comes back down and tests this area. That could be an area of some interesting points. Now, you guys see this today. CZ tweeted this today. Okay, now you guys remember back up in August where the market was moving up, right? Bitcoin was like getting up to 25K, and then all of a sudden CZ tweeted. Okay, he came on and he tweeted, I think, not I think, but they want to buy lower. And just a few days later, Bitcoin ends up falling from 25K all the way back down to 18K. Now, he tweeted this today. This was a reply. He's a little bit salty right now. If you guys see, he's had some pretty salty tweets the last day or so. But he said, many of the crypto pundits were using this transaction hash to predict a huge crash. He said their shorts may get wrecked, not financial advice. You guys remember he tweeted the exact opposite when Bitcoin was pumping to 25K. He said they want to buy lower, not financial advice. So, interesting little tidbit. Will it mean anything? I don't know, but I will say this. His last tweet I ignored, and it actually ended up working perfectly. This one saying the short might not get wrecked, not financial advice. It is what it is, but we'll see. Your mom can CZ these nuts. CZ these nuts. But yeah, he tweeted that at 6:53 in the morning this morning, my friends. At 6:53, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Long Doge. Holy Lord. Trying to trade, but not too much crab action. Hell yeah. DCA and HODL. It only goes down. No trading if it just going sideways. Just HODL. When he says head, does he mean his fractal? His head. No, we don't mean that. We mean the un-PG version of the stream, my friends. All right, so we got that going on for Bitcoin in the short term. That's what we're looking at for BTC. For a couple other things, right? We got the DXY today, which was all over the place. Like, it was pumping yesterday, okay, last night, and then it came back down pretty hard. It was down like 0.5% after hours, and now it's back up, and now it's only down like 0.2%. So the DXY is kind of like chopping, doing its little chop suey on Monday morning. And we'll go over a few things here, but we got the DXY coming down. Obviously, we know it's at a pretty big level, right? We zoom out. I don't have my full chart here, which is slightly obnoxious. But you can see it's right at like a downtrend of resistance here, and also it is at this point here, which is a big point for the DXY we've been talking about as a possible point where the DXY can start to swing back up and sort of ruin our dreams and sort of push us back down to lower levels for BTC. So DXY at a big level. Will this level hold? If it does not, I mean, you can get another significant drop for the DXY back down to like the $100 region. If this does, man. A move back up to like 110, which is probably what we don't want to see. We got a slight deviation above this level this morning, but we dumped back below, and now we're kind of sitting right at that resistance again. I'm curious to see what will happen today for the DXY. Should be a fun one. Should be a fun one today. The stock market has not... See, this is what I find interesting about the stock market, guys. We gapped down. So we have a gap now back to the upside because the stock market was down like 1% after hours, which is a pretty big deal for the futures market. We dumped back down. Now we have a gap back up to the upside. We have not reached, for the stock market, we have not reached this downtrend of resistance yet. And this is the point where I will say, okay, we get back up to this level, you got to sort of go into that with a little bit of a bearish mindset, right? You got to be looking for a rejection there. If the S&P comes up and tests this 1, 2, 3, and this fourth level again. At that point, that's been the level where you've wanted to go short on sort of the S&P and on crypto in general, right? But we'll see what happens when we get up there. I will say this is not quite there yet. So I still think the S&P's got a little bit more upside despite the futures market being red today. I still think this has got a little bit more upside over the course of the next couple of days. After that, man, we shall see when the S&P gets up to that level, my friends. But, interesting level on the S&P. We'll see what happens with that today. 1 hour time frame does look like it's coming back up a little bit, but it's Monday. I don't trust Mondays, man. Mondays are always fake days lately, right? Monday's either red and the rest of the week's green, or Monday is green, the rest of the week's red. It happens every single Monday, man. So just be careful on Mondays. Be careful on Mondays. Keith's still playing No Nut November. No Nut November for Keith. Cheers. Who's doing No Nut November? That's right, man. Don't be jerking off. Don't be jerking off. Jerking off is not good for you. Okay? Nice. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Keith, nice job, buddy. It's really hard not to do it, man. So I applaud you. Anyways, S&P is coming up a little bit. I'm not playing the pump song for the S&P. I'm playing the pump song for Keith enjoying his No Nut November. So the S&P is coming up a little bit, though. That's good. Like you said, we have a gap up. It's probably going to come fill that gap. NASDAQ, same thing. You have a gap up. It's filling that gap right now. I know you guys are going to come with the jokes. Gap on your mom, bitch. Your mom has a gap. I could already see the gap jokes coming in right now. No gap jokes, guys. No gap jokes. Just the morning streams are very friendly and non-hostile. Okay, so no your mom jokes in the morning. Everyone's gonna come up with it. Actually, just tell me your best your mom joke in the chat. Screw it, man. Tell me your best your mom joke. Let me see the NASDAQ here. So the NASDAQ also is coming up, and you could argue that the NASDAQ, I mean, depending how you want to sort of go about this, the NASDAQ actually hasn't come up to test this level yet. So I guess that is sort of good. So same thing. NASDAQ hasn't came up to test this level yet, so that's good. NASDAQ, same thing with the S&P. Still think it's got a little bit more upside in it. And then we got to look at a possible, rejection again for the fourth time, which when it's hit that trend line, guys, it hasn't been good for the markets, at least for the short term. Bless you.
Thank you.
All right, so we talked about S&P, the DXY. What else can we touch on today? I don't want to spend too much time on like the longer term time frames in the morning stream. Just kind of update on the shorter term time frame stuff. Let's see, Ethereum. Let me see. Jabba doesn't believe in No Nut November. Well, Jabba has to take this time to get his nuts in. Why? because The market's bearish, so that's the only time that Melissa likes him, when the market's bearish. So he has to take this time to say, okay, the market's bearish. Melissa loves me right now. I got to get my nuts in. Okay, and then when the market becomes bullish, he can no longer get his nuts in. He's got to hibernate for the bull. All right, so Ethereum. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame for ETH. So ETH also broke a pretty big trend line there, and you can argue that ETH broke out from like a it's a little bit of a ominous falling wedge, but you could argue that ETH came down and all the way back down to the target of the falling wedge, pretty much. Maybe one more move back lower here. But you can see the kind of the same point. Will Ethereum, after breaking down from this wedge, come all the way back down to test the lows again? Let's go to like the daily time frame on Ethereum here. Let's see. Well, actually, let's go like the 4 hour time frame on Ethereum. You can see the same deal. There is some reason for the market makers to pull it all the way back to the lows again, unfortunately. And if you see what Ethereum's doing, it's very, very similar to the Bitcoin chart, where it's kind of flagging out here, right? And we don't like bear flags. We don't like those, my friends, okay? Bear flag target will put you right back down at 1124 for Ethereum. So I would say at this point that looks like the more likely scenario, where Ethereum does get that sort of next leg. It gets one more leg down, okay? Makes a lower low in price action, tries to make a higher low on the RSI, and tries to paint out some type of bullish divergence here, somewhere area in this low area down here. And we play it just like Bitcoin, right? We play support until it doesn't hold. Yada yada yada. You guys know that. You guys know the deal at this point. Support is support until it's not support. We know how this works. But yeah. So same deal as Ethereum. Ethereum looks like. Yeah. I would say it looks like it wants to at least test these areas down here. And hey. I think we'll take any test at this point, other than crab action. Like we said yesterday, we are no longer in a crab market. We are in a snail market, if you know what I mean. Let's see. Let's see. Smash the like button and get the F out. Smash the like button and get the F out. It's a bear market. No one wants to hit up the like button, man. Everyone's salty. Everyone is mad. You know what I mean? That's how the market works. And then in the bull market, you get more likes than viewers. You know, that's how the market works. Anyways, that's kind of where we're at. So I guess anyways, we sort of sit and we wait. I mean, Bitcoin, I guess, at the moment it is sitting right on the 786 retracement on the weekly. It is a big level, and I mean, at the current moment, like we said, we're kind of just sitting in no man's land. Below the previous lows, which were 19,000, and the next level, which everyone and their mother's calling for, which is 14K. So we're sort of just in no man's land at the moment, guys. And I guess we talk about what we can talk about in this range, right? Which is between 17K and 16K. But in reality, I mean, if you guys aren't trading, it's just sideways pop, right? Everyone gets bullish and every move up. Everyone gets bearish and every moves down. But in reality, you ain't really doing much in here, my friends. You ain't really doing much, right? We can get excited for the markets open. Look at Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart. It's doing something. It really ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? And that's why no one's trading right now. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. Let's see. I'm not salty. We nomads, my friends. We nomads, my friends. All right. What is a nomad? A nomad is someone who just travels. Someone who just is constantly traveling and never can stay in one place. Makes sense. All right, so that's where we're at. I mean, I'm really on the weekly time frame. There's not too much else to say besides that, to be honest. I guess, let's jump into some of these other things here. Oh man, so that's where we're at. I would say, I mean, you guys know the deal, right? The really big thing to watch here, and what the whole market is waiting for at the moment, is the FOMC meeting coming up on the 13th and the CPI coming up on the 13th, right? Until then, we keep it interesting, but that's really what the market's waiting for at this moment. I think right now the market is waiting for a retest of this trend. And I know you guys are sick about hearing about this trend, but I mean, in reality, this is what the whole market's waiting for, is a retest of this trend, which we talked about is the same trend that we had in 2008 and the same trend that we had in 2000, okay? And we're waiting for a retest of that, you know? I mean, are we in this time frame right here where the market comes up and tests us for the last time, and then you see that last capitulation down over the course of the next few months, and hallelujah, there we are? Or are you sort of, you know, it got to be that time where some of these other times where you actually just break out and sort of you go off to the races? We'll see, right? We'll see. I mean, there's so much speculation right now, comparing the market. You know, a big recession coming. We looked at the thing yesterday. This is the most. Everyone and their mother is calling for the same thing. Okay, which is a recession. I believe. I mean, you could argue that we already had a recession. I would say that was, you know, it's up for debate, I guess. Everyone's calling for the same thing in 2023. You know, I would argue that. There's many different things going on in the markets, right? Fed hasn't pivoted yet. In 2000, Fed pivoted at the high. In 2008, Fed pivoted at the high. This time, the Fed hasn't even pivoted, and we've already dropped 30%. Okay, and in 2000, inflation peaked at the high. Where this time, inflation technically, I mean, up until this point, is already peaked. There's so many different variables going on right now that it'll be a fun year. I mean, whatever happens, it'll be a fun year no matter what. But I mean, there's so many. If you're comparing this market right now to 2000, I would say it's very, very different. Very, very different as far as what's kind of transpired over the course of time. So it'll be fun, right? It'll be fun, and we'll keep sort of pecking away here and getting through time and doing our best to have a little fun with the market up until then. Let me see. Jordan wrong and the Eagles losing? Facts. I didn't even watch the game. What was the score? I'm still upset about the Pats losing, man. The fact that I mean, I can't get too mad at losing to a 9-2 team, but we should have, like I said, we should have won that game, man. It was, I guess, it was a game that you're mad that you let away, because that would have been a huge win. Huge win. All right. So I guess, let me see. Take a Pats, a month to score 40. Facts, man. We can't score for shit. Hell no. Let me see. FTM. The squiggly with the lower highs was amazing. All right. So let's look at FTM. Phantom. I mean, altcoins, man. Altcoins. Let me look at, Phantom's having a nice day today, actually. That's nice. That's really, really nice. I mean, Phantom has that classic deviation play, and still, like, even though you're seeing Bitcoin come down, right? I guess that still doesn't change the narrative for where we're at, in my opinion. But we look at where we're at, right? We got low, and you got the deviation, right? You broke the deviation low. Now you're popping back up into that level, and you got this big daily vector candle up here. So still, I mean, hey, Phantom's having a nice day. How much is it up right now? Let's see. 9%? Hey, fuck it. Let's do a little pop song this morning. Come on. Crypto arbitrage, what's going on, man? Thanks for always showing up. Can you check out Solana? Yeah, I got you, dude. So Phantom,
thanks for always showing
same kind of deal,
Can you check Solana?
right? So Phantom was able to break back above the lows. Awesome. Bada bing, bada boom. And listen, I still don't think that it's terribly unreasonable to think, okay, Bitcoin's coming down right now. Cool. We're still in the range, though. Like, until Bitcoin breaks 15,500, I don't think there's any reason to get too upset. Just like when we came down right here, we said, I don't think there's any reason to get too upset. Okay? Same type of deal. Still looking for some of these alts to come up. There's obviously invalidations to that. Bitcoin breaks a new low. Okay, that invalidates what we were talking about. Nothing's 100%. But the altcoin charts really haven't changed. I know that some of them are coming down a good amount today. That's okay. We're not looking at the 15-minute chart, my friends, okay? Daily chart still looks fine on Phantom. Still like this to come up and at least tag the mid-range of this vector candle here. Back upwards to like 24 bucks or so. Or 24 cents, I'm sorry. Chart still looks fine. So I actually like this one. This one has a nice little deviation play to it. Let's see where we close the daily today. I would like to close the daily a little bit higher here. I don't want to make a big wick here on the daily and sort of be like, okay, we're kind of stuck below here. I would love to close the daily up here. And that would look a lot better, in my opinion, for Phantom on sort of the daily little chatty chat. Solana, let's see. So Solana is coming back down again. We actually go to Solana on the 4-hour time frame. So this is what we talked about yesterday, right? Until Solana breaks out of resistance, man, you can't get too excited. But you've now seen Solana retrace back to the 0.5 retracement. Doesn't mean the move is over. I still think that this 618 retracement makes way more sense for Solana to come and test, right? You had a back test here, you had a back test here, back test here. The 618 retracement sits right at that level too. And I mean, sort of the same thing. If Bitcoin comes and tests the lows again, okay, Sol holding here would make a ton of sense to me. And then you sort of get your possible structure of the left shoulder head, right shoulder play that tries to push you back up to the upside. Okay, but I still think a little bit lower here makes some sense for Sol, just like BTC, right? And we sort of look at this as it's not. This one's actually kind of an ugly. This one's not really a bull flag, but a bear flag, but one more leg down, right? Where if you like Elliott waves, you got that one leg, 2 and 3 gets you to that 618 retracement. And then tries to push you back up from there. Because then the 4 hour is going to be oversold. And I would like it for a move back up in that situation. Okay, we have invalidations. Breaks the 618. That's invalidated. But I still like Sol from this area. I still like Sol from this area to come up to 18 over the course of the next couple, days. Next couple days. Excuse me. Let me see. Let's see. I have to see a man about a dog? Lena Wayne, enjoy your man about a dog. I don't know what that means, dude. I have no idea what that means. All right. Let me see. I'm an FTM bag holder. Let me see. We're going to 10K. Say it. I don't think anyone has any idea, man. I mean, it's easy to sit here and say we're going to 10K. I mean, just like when you're in a bull market, it's easy to say you're going higher. You know what I mean? Like, does it really make you a genius to sit here and say, okay, Bitcoin's in a bear market, we're going to 10K? No, I mean, that's the trend at the moment. I still think it's likely that, like, where we are now, it's likely we do make a lower low, you know? But, I mean, it's always going to be lower. I still think it's more likely we go to 14K than not. At least 14K than not at this point. Kind of what we're saying. Right now we're in that awkward waiting period where you're sort of waiting for buyers to sort of dry up there. Or at least into the FOMC meeting coming up in 2 weeks, which is a long wait and a wait that we'll have to wait for here. In the meantime, like I said, we're stuck in this range. We'll get way too hyped for no reason over a 1% move to the upside, way too dumbed down for a 1% move to the downside. In reality, you ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? The last 20 days, right? I mean, you haven't done anything. So, I mean, that's why I always, it's a good sort of test to sort of calm your emotions down. Just because Bitcoin's coming down in this little short-term time frame makes everyone bearish. Then if it starts to come back up again, everyone gets bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish. In reality, you're just kind of crabbish, man, you know, at the current moment. So that is where we are at. And that's it. Let's see. Wow, everyone is so serious. Everyone will be okay, kids? Everyone is serious, man. That's okay. This is the point of the market. Everyone gets super, super serious. Well, I guess this is the point of the market where, okay, how was it a couple months ago? Okay, this was a couple months ago. a couple months ago was like, okay, it's a bear market. Let me try trading. Okay. And then everyone tried trading for a few months. And now you're at that point of the market where, you know, trading didn't really work. So now everyone's like, I'm not even trading anymore. So now you're just kind of, everyone's kind of in the market where you got sort of the people that are holding. You got some traders, but in reality, most people just want to know when the bottom's going to be at this point. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at. That is kind of where we are at. So that's why everyone's serious, right? And that's why short-term TA, I guess, isn't the most fun to look at. I mean, to be honest, I mean, this is a good range. You know what I mean? To be honest, the best time to trade is in these ranges. It's not when you're seeing these big dumps and pumps. It's these ranges, right? I mean, you long support, long support, long support, short resistance, short resistance, short resistance. And it's a pretty easy little channel to be in there. You know, and if we come back down again, probably a good area to put a long position in there. At least for myself. I mainly try into long anymore. Nice. What am I doing for my birthday? Yesterday was my birthday, my friend. Today is my crypto birthday again. Every day is my crypto birthday. We know this, my friends. We know this. All right. So that is where we are at. I guess that's I guess what we got. I mean, there ain't too much to else really say besides that, my friends. And I don't want to keep you on here for forever. You know, I want to say what I have to say. Okay, on these morning ones, say what I have to say, and be on my merry way, because it is Merry Christmas, and it's a Happy New Year, and yeah, it's Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So I guess that's what we're waiting for. I'm gonna call a stream, and I'll be back tonight, as always, and yeah, we'll be back tonight at 7 p.m. All right. Maybe I got ahead of myself. I do like doing the morning streams, so I probably will end up doing those every day, at least during the week. But they'll probably be shorter, right? I'm going to say what I have to say and then be adios out of here. But the night streams, we'll keep normal length and stuff like that. So I will see you guys at 7. Be easy, right? Watch for Bitcoin. I'm still looking for, you know, another move back down to the lows. I guess, as always, don't get too bearish at support. If Bitcoin starts popping back up, we have our validations points, okay? And we'll go from there, all right? Adios, my friends. Take it easy. See you guys in about 9 hours. 9 hours, my guys. Peace out. Peace.